All right, so I've had the Nespresso machine for about a month now, um, and I tested it a little bit longer than I normally do, mainly because I had a vacation in there. Um, so it took a little longer to get the video done, but I really like this machine. We have a Nespresso machine with the small pods, and I like it, but mostly I drink a cup of coffee, not an espresso. But I like the consistency and the flavor of some of the Nespresso pods. So the larger Nespresso machine makes a full cup of coffee versus a espresso shot. So rather than running that a couple times, getting an espresso shot and then adding hot water, this just gives me a more flavorful large coffee. So I do appreciate that. I like the design of the machine. I think it's laid out pretty well. I do wish that the water reservoir was a little bigger. Um, it's decent, but it's certainly for the size of the machine and the shape, they could have fit more water, and that would have been nice. Otherwise, I'm super happy with it. The mechanism is great. So just up here, there is a super simple to use. There's a lock and unlock. So if I switch it to unlock, I've got a pod in here just for demonstration. But you unlock it, and then I'm going to do this a little bit slower, but you'd let this go and then push up. Oh, sorry. Then you just tip it over. So yeah, here we go. So you unlock it, and it kind of goes to this held spot. So it's open, but it's still held. And then you just click it over a little bit, and that releases the spring inside, and then the top pops up. When the top pops up, the pod falls out. So now the pod's in the empties bin. So now you can pull that and put those in the recycling bag. So that's really clean. You don't have to touch the pod. You don't have to grab the pod. That part's really cool. And then to close it, we can shut it. It latches here, so you can leave it in that position. And then when you have a pod in, you turn it back over to locked. So that part works really good. Super simple. You just press the button on the top, makes your coffee. It reads the serial number of the barcode off of the pod to know what type of coffee it's making. So again, I'm already in the Nespresso ecosystem, so that doesn't, upset me or whatnot. If you're buying this and you don't like a pod system, you've probably bought the wrong machine. I like the consistency and the ease of the pods. I like that Nespresso has a recycling program that I can send my pods in. I think that's great. So I do like the machine. But again, if you're not sold on the pod idea, probably not the machine for you. I do like that the the cup retainer is removable. So I can pull it out for a larger cup. I can move it up if I'm making a small cup, or I can leave it kind of here for most of my cups. So I do like that it's height adjustable. That part is great. Other than that, the machine itself is pretty simple. There's not really much else to go over. You plug it in. There is an app that you can use. I didn't find it overly useful, but it does allow you to register and track your machine. So that part is kind of nice, but otherwise I didn't really use the app for much of the machine setup, although it can be used to get some system information if your machine is not working right and that sort of stuff. But otherwise, yeah, I think it's just a really nice, solid, good-looking coffee machine. So if you are on the fence, if you have the small pods and we're looking at the big pods, or if you're looking at an upgrade to your larger pod machine, I think this machine works great. My wife and I have been super happy with it. Makes a great, consistent cup of coffee. Thanks a lot.
Hi, Blake here with another review. This is for the Nespresso Vertuo. As you can see, I've used it quite a few times, so I'll do a quick walkthrough on it. So this, I have one left over in there. So to unlock it, and that's a pretty cool little feature there. It automatically pops out, and then you have this little side container here. It fills up pretty quick if you're using the big pods, but you also don't have to pop it out. You can let it go up slowly if you want, and then I usually just pluck it out. I try to anyway. So I'm using one of the full-size 7.7 ounce. It came with a nice little variety pack with the various sizes. So you have, there we go. So you have like an actual espresso size, 1.35, 2.7, and 7.7, which is essentially the, like a standard coffee. So to operate it, and I will say that it took me a minute to figure out But then I read the directions and it was super easy. So one thing I really like is how easy it is to detach the reservoir. It just kind of snaps on. And then to operate, you're just going to put it in. And the other cool part is it automatically senses what the size is. So it will dispense accordingly. And then it has your little tray stand. So if you want it closer to the top, if you have like a true espresso size, or in my case, I'm using a full size. And I like a little creamer and sugar in there. So I put that in the bottom beforehand. Because the reason being, and you'll see here in a second, actually I'll go ahead and start it. So you just click it once. And it takes a second to start. Don't be impatient like I was the first time. I was like, why is this blinking? Do I have to like hold it? Now what you can do is you can, and see what I'm going to try and do is stir at the beginning, because I'm using powdered creamer, because I want to make sure I don't ruin the nice head color, or the foam at the head. Yeah, same thing. But as you can see, it's dispensing pretty quickly. And then if you don't want it all the way full, you can just hold down and it'll stop. And then you can actually, if you want to make it even, make a little more, I believe you double tap it or something. I'd have to read the directions again, because honestly, the amount that it dispenses for this size is perfect. But as you can see, nice and frothy. And I'm going to play this video on a faster playback, but the overall brew time is maybe about a minute tops. Probably about a minute. But it is almost done. There we go. And so, like I said, if you wanted to, I'll do it real quick. Maybe not. Like I said, I think it makes the perfect amount, so I don't want to mess with it. But there is a way, if you wanted to have it do a little more or cut it off short, you can. And again, I put extra stuff in there. If you let it just brew on its own, it'll be frothy a lot longer. But honestly, after the first few sips anyway, it all, comes down. So, no, really nice, really easy to use, pretty compact, nice detachable reservoir. The catch chamber comes with a variety pack. As you can see, I have a full-size espresso machine that I don't really use so much anymore. So, because now that I have this, so I definitely recommend.